Hello everyone and welcome to Flickering Myth TV. My name is EJ Marino and today we are diving into a brand new film. We are talking about Sofia Coppola's On the Rocks. When I'm making my list of personal favorite directors, Sofia Coppola usually has a place in that top 5. She's a strong filmmaker with a unique vision and something to say. Well, usually something to say. That's what pains me about this film. On the Rocks is a well-made film with some decent acting performances and overall vibe that isn't the worst thing ever, but it felt so insignificant. It felt so lackluster. When the movie ended, I said, so what was the point of that? Which is not how you should be leaving a movie. Even if a movie confuses you, or frustrates you, or makes you feel some type of emotion, that's good. This movie made me feel nothing, and that's what really breaks my heart. Now, there's some things I can say that will probably contribute to me not loving it, like I'm not a big Bill Murray fan. We'll talk about him in a moment, but I had to start this off by saying I love Sofia Coppola. She is a director I really respect and appreciate. It's just, sometimes films like this just feel so small scale, so maybe personal to her, but insignificant to me as a viewer. I'm probably gonna be alone in that. People are gonna love this for being so small and quiet and just so normal compared to a lot of Coppola movies. Like, we look at Marie Antoinette, The Beguiled, things like that. So that's where I'm saying I'm more on that side of fandom of her than things like this, like Lost in Translation, where it just feels so just small, and I just want something big and bold. On the Rocks has a pretty strong cast. We have Rashida Jones as our lead. We have Marlon Wayans playing her husband. We have Jenny Slate popping up for, one of those moms you run into when you're getting into school and you're like, oh cool, tell me about your weekend. I did not really want to know about it. And then we have Bill Murray as her weird, eccentric father. Bill Murray is playing a Bill Murray-like character, which is kind of it kind of distracts me sometimes, and it was particularly distracting here, where there would be times and moments where I was just like, is he playing Bill Murray? Is her dad Bill Murray in this movie? Or is he supposed to be playing something else? Because I just wasn't connecting with his character. It felt so outlandish and over the top for such a grounded film. Now, Coppola usually likes that in her films, so I understand, and she likes working with Bill Murray. There was just something about him in this movie that, him and Rashida Jones played well together, but the chemistry was not out of this world. People kept being like, oh, who's that young lady with you? And he'd be like, it's not my girlfriend. I'm like, no one's getting that vibe because you have no chemistry together. They were just reading well-written lines together, and the acting was strong. They felt like they were in different scenes. And I like Rashida Jones in this film. I thought she does well as this mom who believes her husband is cheating on her, so her and her father go on this weird kind of caper mission that starts 50 minutes into the movie, and I'm like, oh, I like this little kind of spy thing they're doing, and it's over. Yay. Yeah, it's just really confusing with the story being weird, the acting being okay. It comes together for a pretty insignificant film, like I said in the beginning, and that's nothing against this if people like it. There are going to be people who find the Bill Murray performance to be really fun, or really like the reserved performance from Rashida Jones, or hell, even Marlon Wayans in a somewhat dramatic movie. That's refreshing, so I'm not going to take away from people who do enjoy it. But for me, watching this, I was just like, well, I don't like anybody. Well, the story's not interesting, but what's happening? Give me something to sink my teeth into, and this was a pretty bad, meal to eat. The look and feel of the movie does feel very authentic to what they were trying to portray. It's a pretty demure movie in the sense of story and kind of the overall plot of this, so they do kind of make it feel like that in the filmmaking, but there's still some striking visual moments that really make you think of a Sofia Coppola type of cinematography. But then there's times where I'm just like, and here is Rashida Jones staring in front of a computer, or her going through her husband's phone. The plot just really didn't allow Coppola to really have a lot of fun as you would normally expect. Same thing with these actors. I'm used to Rashida Jones doing a little bit more outlandish of comedy, and same thing with Bill Murray. I liked him in The Dead Don't Die recently, but here I was just like, his outlandish character clashed with the grounded nature of this, and maybe if everyone was at Bill Murray's level, it would have been entertaining, but maybe that would have been too much. This is just a movie that I really can't wrap my head around, and that's what really confuses me, because it's not a complex movie. Hell, I figured out Tenet within the first 30 minutes. This movie, I'm just like, but how do I I feel? What's going on? And that's how I know this movie just really doesn't sit well with me, when I can't figure it out and how my emotions. I'm like, if I go into a Rotten Tomatoes score for this, I don't know if I'm going to be positive or negative, because it's just kind of a conflicting kind of vibe. I'm leaning towards negative because I didn't walk away happy, but the filmmaking isn't insufferable, the acting isn't bad, so what do you do? And that's kind of one of these fun, conflicted reviews that you guys get to see critics do when we're like, I don't know. I had emotions. I don't know what they are, though. For me to give a Sofia Coppola movie a non-positive review kind of does break my heart, but hell, it happens to every one of your favorite filmmakers. I don't think there's a filmmaker out there that a fan loves every single one of their movies, so I'm going to just talk this up to one of Sofia Coppola's weaker entries, but it's not the worst movie ever. If you liked anything I described with the plot, with the actors, you should definitely check it out when it comes out on Apple TV, but if you're not rushing out to anything like this is definitely one of those where I'm like, you can catch it. If you catch it, don't rush out to see it. All right, everyone, that is it for my review of On the Rocks. What did you guys think of this review? What do you guys think of this movie? Are you interested in seeing it? How do you feel about Sofia Coppola? What do you think of these late-end career Bill Murray performances that are all just trying to like kind of run into each other? What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Subscribe to Flickering Myth because we make videos like this every single week, and give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy this review. All right, everyone, let's talk about On the Rocks down below.